Slaughter Canyon is a separate cave system than the main cavern. We drove, the ranger led a caravan of about 10 or 12 people for about 45 minutes in the cars over to Slaughter Canyon. When you get there, it's about a half-mile hike up, but you climb quite a long way. Was it 500 feet up?
500 feet.
500 feet in a half mile to get to the entrance. And this cave is just incredible. All the formations you see are just huge. They have these massive columns. The rooms inside are huge. It was absolutely fantastic, and we really enjoyed walking around there.
This is the entrance Slaughter Canyon Cave, so we're going to be going right through this area. But this is where Tommy Tucker found his goats. So Tommy Tucker had chased and followed his goats. They came up, he could see them coming until they came around that switchback that we came up. And then all of a sudden he came here and they were gone. So he was going, where did my goats go? Hopefully they didn't climb up on like that little vertical ledge. But as he was here, he heard them bang, yodel. What is a goat? What? Bleat. They were bleating. They were bleating from the cave. So they were down there, and he could hear them calling up, and he knew that they were down there in this cave. So the goats and Tommy Tucker had found this brand new cave.
On ladder. Off ladder.
But we are going to continue down along these steps that were put in by the guano miners to allow them to go easier into and out of the cave. So we'll follow this trail all the way down, and we'll go into an area called the Twilight Zone, where the effects of light really start to diminish. So if you're ready, follow me and also have a look around and enjoy Slaughter Canyon Cave.
Watch out, it's slippery here.
Yes, I was saying about the guano mining that occurred. This was by the Ogle Mining Company. And they were in here for about 20 years, excavating guano from this cave. So we can still see just a little bit of just some of the things that they had. We see where we had the tire marks where they're going through. There's a spark plug. We had the electrical lights and the wiring. We have an oil can. We also have a beer can that has been shotgunned. So, you know, party in the cave. So, of course, they knew how to come in and come out of this cave to be able to utilize as much as we can. So, you know, that's what everybody signed up for when they chose Slaughter Canyon Cave. They wanted to see back guano, and I will not hold that back any longer. So they were excavating all of this material out of the cave. So it looked a little something like this. And I'll go ahead and pass this around so everyone can have a really good look at this. I know this is what you guys have been waiting for. They were pulling that material out of the cave. Now, that is what they pulled out of here. This that I'll pass around now, and I will not unscrew this. This is bat guano from Carlsbad Cavern. So from the main cave. And this guano is about 1 year old. So this is very fresh guano. So go ahead and have a look at that bat guano. I know I'm making everyone's day here. The bat guano makes wonderful fertilizer because it's rich in nitrates and sulfates. So it makes one of the best fertilizers on the planet. In fact, many countries around the planet are still using bat guano for primary fertilization of lands. This was not pure guano. So this is kind of a mixture. This guano is kind of a mixture of guano plus also dirt and soils. Plus also this is very old. You see that this is the guano that they excavated. Then we had this calcite cap, which is a cave decoration, so it's formed on top of that. And we also have those little tiny stalagmites on top of it as well. So this guano had been here for a very, very long time. And in fact, we were able to use uranium thorium dating on this calcite cap. And the calcite cap is about 6,000 years old. So this guano is very old because it has to be older than that cap. So we're looking at a very old bat. In fact, we're looking at an extinct bat. This species of bat that made this guano is called the Constantine freetail bat. They have only been found in this cave. They have not found their remains or skeletons or anything in any other cave on the planet except for this cave right here. And if you all want to look at them, Look behind you. On this wall here, if you see something which looks like little pine needles on there, those are actually backbones.
In this cave, we saw a new cave formation that we hadn't seen in the previous 3 tours. It's called a rimstone dam, and this one is known as the Great Wall of China. It's ankle high, and this one is often used in textbooks as the example, as it's one of the tallest and most vertical rimstone dams ever found.
Did you guys get the message?
One person on the bridge at a time.
On the left-hand side. Hold on.
You know what they remind me of?
Huh?
They remind me of the Ood from Doctor Who.
Oh. Maybe that's where they got inspiration for it.
Is it? The brown bones. Right in the middle of the lights.
What we actually came to show you is a very common formation which is called a column. A column is a formation which connects the ceiling to the ground. And we had the largest column in this cave, the second largest column in the park, and that is right there. Whoa. The Monarch. So this column that we have right here is about 90 feet tall. So this is one of the largest columns you will ever see, unless if you go pretty much to another country. You have to travel quite a long ways in order to see a larger formation than that.
If you lean forward, you have the great possibility of meeting the only plant in this cave. Does anyone know what that is? Yes. What is it? Face plant. So yes.
On rope. Off rope.
On rope. Do my Indiana Jones move? Off rope.
They filmed this formation in here in this cave, and it's in Africa apparently. But anyway, so they filmed in part and they showed this formation. Now, out of everywhere that we've been in this cave so far, why do you think they chose this formation out of all of those that we've seen so far?
It's creepy looking.
It's creepy looking. Just like the Klansman, it started out with a tall stalagmite that was growing until it almost reached the ceiling. Then after that, we had that calcite crust start to form on top of that, kind of covering all that beautiful drapery of that crust. And we're a little bit lucky, you see some of the sparkling that's happening. That's from the calcite and gypsum that has been forming on that crust. Now, up here on the ceiling there, you see what looks like those pizza crusts on there, those little, or at least those pizza pans. Those kind of smooth rounded formations. Now those are called cave shields. And those are very rare formations. It's still kind of unknown how exactly they form. So we have those. We also have a lot of drapery. So you see these wonderful flowing barks for drapery. This is complete and utter darkness. No matter how long you're here, your eyes will never adjust to this. It isn't until we come in with our technology, our curiosity, and our hunger to learn more that we truly see the cave for how it is.
The tour costs $15 per person, but is the only tour that takes you away from the main cave to see something totally different. In total it takes 5.5 hours, but if you have the time and want to see some truly huge cave formations, then I would highly recommend the Slaughter Canyon tour.
Myself and Ranger Kelsey, we'd like to thank you all very much for coming on the Slaughter Canyon Cave Tour.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
We have here.
There is no more motivating way to lose weight than take up a sport that involves taking yourself uphill under your own propulsion.